Well, I'm an alum, I'm on the board, and I have a kid here. I'm obviously very devoted. As a way of sort of introducing why I've gotten involved with this, I just have two stories from related to my own Sarah Lawrence experiences. The first is, on about my 20th reunion, I hate to tell you how many I've had since then, but on about my 20th reunion, I was really astonished to go around and look at my fellow classmates and to see the kinds of things that they had done with their lives and with their careers. And it struck me that such an incredibly large number of them had gone on to create things that hadn't existed before. They'd seen a situation or an opportunity, or there was something that they wanted to make happen, and it didn't exist in sort of nice, neat little boxes. It either involved, having to combine skills of law and art and project management, or ideas about geriatrics and operations and facilities management. And these are the kinds of things that other people weren't really pulling together in these ways, and they've done such original, inventive things. And I was just so impressed at how they found a way to take the things that they cared about, and rather than look at them and say, well, nobody's ever done something like this before, they just went ahead and they built this thing that they thought needed to happen and made them successful. And I was terribly impressed. And then about 6 months later, I got a letter, probably an email, but I got an email from a Sarah Lawrence student who was taking a statistics class. And she said she was writing to alumni to ask them some questions about which of the courses that they had taken while at Sarah Lawrence had been useful and valuable in the careers that they had ultimately done. And then she wrote as a postscript, she said, I'm doing this for my statistics project, but my real motive in this is to help me make decisions about the coursework that I'm going to take, because I'm torn right now between the idea of studying for the love of the thing itself, or whether I should take some more practical courses that are maybe not so interesting, but which will help me get a job. And I thought, boy, that's the saddest thing I ever heard. By then, I'd worked for many years in large companies, and by then I'd started my own company. I guess I'd been one of the Sarah Lawrence students who created a kind of hybrid thing that didn't exist before. And I wrote back and I said to her, well, I've answered your questions because I know that you have to fulfill your conference work. But in typical Sarah Lawrence way, I have to tell you, I think you're asking the wrong question altogether. I said, because, and one of my biggest objections to the liberal arts world, not just Sarah Lawrence by any means by then, but to the liberal arts world, is that they have a tendency to set up this false dichotomy between the study that you love and the life of the mind and some soul-destroying experience called work. And I have to tell you that in my own personal experience, it wasn't until I actually went into the world and started to work and started to do a job, and to do a job that I was good at and had to learn to be better at, that I began to, in fact, realize the best in myself. And I believe that the liberal arts community should, in fact, be focused on teaching students how to think about how to take what they love and make a livelihood out of it. And so these have been interests that I've had for a long time. And then when Karen Lawrence came to become president of the college, and she asked me to join the board, one of the things that she said she really wanted to do was to create things here at Sarah Lawrence that help the students connect their studies and what they were doing to work and service in the world. And she wanted to help create a program that would take this naturally entrepreneurial quality that Sarah Lawrence students have, and to leverage what is a naturally entrepreneurial nature of the education that you receive here. After all, we have to invent projects for ourselves that don't exist. We have to conceive of a plan of our education out over this time. We have to make things that didn't exist before all the time. And so this is, we attract the kind of students who do this, we give them an education that supports this, and what Karen wanted to do was to create a program that could help students connect all of that to something more concrete in the world. And so I said that I would be happy to use some of the contacts that I have and some of the experiences I have to help pull this program together. And so what we're doing here is a pilot program, and I say it's a pilot because we need as much participation as we can get, and we need your best participation, because if it's successful, then we can make this part of a permanent student experience, student life experience here at Sarah Lawrence. So I'm not just here to kind of inform you, I'm actually hoping to recruit you and evangelize you for doing this. The concept behind it is to help you take an idea, or get an idea. Part of the program is actually going to involve exploring how you even get an idea. So even if you don't really have an idea yet, but everybody who's here is thinking, well, I'd like to have an idea, or if I, or I have an idea, but I don't know what to do. But how to create it, how to get an idea, how to develop this idea, how to refine the idea to the point where you can take it forward to someone for possible funding. That's the goal. With the program, isn't going to fund the ideas themselves, but it is designed to help you develop practice in thinking through your ideas so that you can take them and present them into the world to get funding, should you wish to. I see a question. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were.
But, okay.
Okay. It's got a competitive element to it, but many parts of the program are open to all students. And part of the reason that we want students to compete for the opportunity to participate in the program is because we want the students who are really passionate about their idea and who will stick with the plan, because there are a number of different components. It's rather intense. You all have a lot of coursework to do. Every one of you already have conference work to do. It's my secret wish that some of you will incorporate these projects into your conference work. Not only, of course, does that make it more efficient, you get to do two things for one set of effort, which I think is one of the great skills of Sarah Lawrence students, but also because I think that will help to create a different kind of culture here at Sarah Lawrence, where you, the students, are helping to shape how the faculty and how the curriculum think about themselves, so that you are bringing the world of work into your coursework and your study, getting credit for it, but also developing skills that will work in the real world. So with that, I'm going to turn it over for a kind of detailed explanation of the program itself, how it works, and then we'll take any questions at all.